Family, peace, family. As promised, we back with part two for the day. Okay, so first off, first, peace to all my love subscribers. Peace to all the subscribers returning to the page. If you popped up here on so-called accident, just know that there are no accidents in the universe. Everything you run across is with a purpose, and it's the correct information, and you receive the information at the correct time. With that being said, family, you know, um, as I was saying this morning, um, time bandits. So we still on, we on that time right now. We on that type of time. And as I've been researching and getting into knowing what was going on in the past, because if you don't know the past, then you obviously can't know your future. And if you understand the past, then you can know what's coming up in the future before it even gets here. Truth be told. So, with that being said, what exactly is time is probably gonna be your next, which should be your next major question. When you're talking about time, what specifically is time? Where did it come from? How did it get here? Why are we following time? And back in, I ain't gonna say prehistoric times because they make it seem like it was so long ago. But back in a time before time, we gonna say. I know we like to say that we made up time, things like this, but time technically the term, well, we put a name on it, but technically the term time has always been here in some form or another, because we know that Father Time has been here since the beginning. So by default, there has always been some type of construct to know what it is around you, even during the times before, BC and things like that. Before way back 2,000 years BC, they were still keeping up, tracking with what the so-called time was. They knew that because we look at it as like 9 months on the calendar, but it's very few these days that look at 9 months as like 9 moons. Like, did you even know that every month is a new moon? Like, or do you just feel like it's just a cycle? And we don't really, you don't really keep up with those type of things. But that's why I'm here to, like, even if you don't think about it every day, bring it back to your the front of your conscience so that you can, ask the right questions when you speak with the higher ups. But yeah, like I was saying, they knew that it took nine moon cycles in order to for a new creation to come into this world. And like I said, the term time, it has always been here. Even we were never some people dwelled in caves, but not everybody dwelled in caves. And it's this certain construct that society has painted on everybody, that that everyone started off in caves and all that, which is not true at all. Because even during this, like I said, 2,000 years ago, they were saying that, okay, what would be the point of keeping time if you was always in a cave? Obviously, they wasn't in a cave if they was keeping up with time and knowing what certain civilizations that were during that time period that were here. Only the originals was here 2,000 years ago, because even Greek civilizations and things like that, the beginning of their times, only started like 600 BC. And it's kind of crazy how time was during the BC, because it counted down. Let's say you started off with 600 BC. You're going to go 600 BC, 500 BC, 4, 3, 2. And then after the 1, that's when Christ came. And then it started again. Like, it started off with number 1 again. I feel like that's like such a crazy thing, because it's counting down in time. Like, if you look at it, it's like it was going backwards. Like, time was going backwards in a way. But that's only because we keep up with time to, like, follow a certain construct so we can all be on the same accordance. They kept time for similarly the same reasons, but in a different way. Like, we keep time so you won't be late to work and stuff. They kept time so they know what the world is doing, like what's going on in the world. when we do time, we think about ourselves mostly, unless we have something to do with another, human or something like that. But most of their time spectrum was actually dealing with the life around them, not so much personal life. Like, okay, let's just say some type of berries grow only in a certain season. They would know, okay, this fruit has bloomed, so it's only gonna be here for 2 moon cycles, which is 2 months. And I like to say 2 moon cycles because now that we all know what a moon cycle is, every month has a moon cycle. I can say 2 moon cycles, and you know that I'm talking about 2 months instead of saying 2 months, because months and all this stuff. Some people say we got 13 months. Some people we got 20 months. Like, okay, we can have all that. You can make all that. You can make that up if you want to, but still, the moon you only gonna have 1 moon a month. You can't change that regardless. But yeah, time itself. Once we hopped on the Gregorian calendar, which I've been kind of, like I said, I've been diving into. I like to tell y'all the books I've been reading because I like the. This one is Anthony Avini, yeah, Anthony Avini, and it's the Empires of Time. And what made me even read this today was I was in the gas station earlier, just like chilling, going in there to get something, and this one woman had a tattoo of like the pyramid, not the pyramids in Egypt, but the temples that was like if you know what the Mayans is, the Mayan temples, then you know it kind of looks similar to how the Egyptian ones looked. And even that I don't know if y'all remember that headstone that was in Atlanta. They don't really tell us that the headstones are throughout the whole country. Like that, there's some headstones similar to those, which I'm gonna add in this video right here. Now that y'all seen the headstones, the ones there's some in Atlanta, there's some in Utah, and these headstones were trackers of time also. And they noticed based on the alignment of the headstones, because the headstones could be aligned any kind of way. If it's so random and stuff, it could be just put in any type of way. But the fact that that these headstones align with they are in alignment with the first sun. Like, let's say the sun rises in a certain area at the top of the summer solstice. Whenever that point, they actually put a pillar in front of it, and that's what they would do to track. Just like how we would tally something if we kind of recognize that this certain things happen every time this happens, then you would just point it so that you know that it's just a time tracker, just to be more precise with what's going on and know where you are in that part of the year. Now, if the sun rises over here, then you know that you're not in a summer solstice. You know there's not a new year. All this had a lot to do with survival, and the fact that it was along the Nile River. That's why they put the big headstones there, because people along the Nile wasn't going nowhere. Like, they was there, but even the people who we call Egyptians, that's not their name that they had during that time. That's just a name that we gave them. Just like all these different civilizations, that's one name that the Egyptians had, at least during a certain time period, but it wasn't always called the Egyptians. It was they had their own name, their own word for what we call Egyptian. Egyptian is an English term. It's a French term. It's not the Egyptian term. So things like that. And if we just continue to like I said, study history, his story, like the story that is the truth, instead of just taking somebody else's word for what's here right now. Like, the here and now is based on another time period that already happened, and we only reliving the time period that already happened. Just like I was saying the other day, just because we have a calendar on the wall, that doesn't make us more advanced than somebody who had a calendar on a piece of wood, because they could have been very advanced for their time period. And the fact that we still doing the same type of stuff that they was doing lets us know that you know, that were very advanced for their time period. Because when we look at calendars and stuff, like I said, we just look at it as like it don't really mean nothing. The first, and the 30th, you just know it's the end of the month, and the first and the third coming up again. Time to pay bills. Most 9 times out of 10, that's how people think. That's all they worry about is the first and the third, and then the rest of the month they just kind of lingering around, just going to work, things like this. But when you actually had to live off the land and actually implement the things that was around you, that's when you had to really keep up with time. And our ancestors, not even that many generations ago, knew this. Like my grandparents and stuff, when they was planting in the garden and stuff, they knew that, okay, this is cucumber season, this is tomato season, this is watermelon season. Like they knew the seasons, because that's what, when you have to live off the land, that's what really mattered at the end of the day. None of the other stuff really even matters at the end of the day. And that's just like a few examples. And the deeper I dive into the book, the more it'll unfold. Just like a person, you can meet them. Okay, you can know a little bit about them, but over time, you're gonna know them like the back of your hand. You're gonna know them, and it's not gonna be too many surprises that hit you about them, because you know them so good. And yeah, it just when those cause there was a explosion that happened at the pillars that were in Atlanta. They blew up not too long ago, and it still haven't been much explanation about why they were destroyed and why things like this happened. But mostly I think that it happened because, you know, it was just a sign that their time is up, you know, that this so-called construct of their land that they had, this illusion that they had us under for so long, is finally coming to an end. And them destroying pillars and stuff, the pillars in Atlanta was just, like I said, it was a sign of the time that we in, because we put them up for us to know what seasons and all that. But then once they get destroyed, it's just like because what we don't be understanding is as above, so below. And as many times that people say that, I feel like it still don't click in people's minds as much, because anything that happened down here is happening up in the stars at the same time. And if not the same time, then not so much at the same exact time, but there's no such thing as time. So yeah, basically in that same construct. They just say out there in the galaxy somewhere, a star, random dwarf star or something like that, which a star, you know, the star is gases, plasma energy, things like that. Let's say that does get decimated in the astros, we're gonna call it. With that star being destroyed up there, something gonna happen down here also, because that is a mirror of what's going on down here. Like, and if you understand what's going on throughout the whole universe, you're gonna understand what's happening here way before anyone else knows what's happening here. That's how you can have visions. Like, I had the vision about the eclipse, that the next day something was revealed to us. It's just like, once our ancestors was really tapped in with going up there, and they got so good at it that they could do it effortlessly. And they would even send signs to the ancestors, because they understood that whenever you're at a certain level, you can still see down here. That's why some civilizations would even put carvings on the ground, certain carvings on the ground, so that the certain messages to the ancestors, so that we knew they could send our correct messages, like, and ask for the correct things, and even just like show their accomplishments, you know. That's why some people don't even understand the concept of, like, let's say the constellation Hercules. When you look at these certain constellations like Hercules, you looking at certain personalities and certain light frequencies that this person received that made them great. So the next person who received those type of light frequencies, the Hercules frequencies, then they most likely gonna have certain strengths and certain, I ain't gonna say Hercules had any weaknesses, but he actually, you know, he had a couple of weaknesses when he was in human form, which we are in human form. Because if you think about it, we kind of like the story of Hercules in a way. We came from the stars, came down here, and then we living out a mortal life, you know. We came from being immortal to having to come to a mortal life. And then what happened whenever, even though in the movie Hercules didn't die or nothing, but he still ended up being able to make the choice if he wants to go up or down or stay down here. And he chose to obviously stay down here because of like mortal feelings and stuff like that. Which, if you was like a real God, which I ain't gonna say he not a real God or nothing like that. No disrespect to Hercules, but I'm just saying like you would not have any feelings towards anyone down here because feelings are not real. Feelings are simply at its minimal level. It's just a reaction in your body. It's just a chemical reaction. So why you letting a chemical reaction change something that's molecular, change your whole mood of your real life at the end of the day? That's why having that balance, he would have went right back up there and he would have probably met somebody up there 10 times, better. But you don't know until you go see for yourself at the end of the day. But yeah, family, I'm gonna get up out of here. I just have to and then it will be more lessons on time because like time is endless. It's not even real. But since we are going to use time, might as well understand that it's best, and try to understand it at the most dense level that we can understand it at. But yeah, with that being said, family, I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm at a friend's house right now and kind of just chilling. Probably about to go try to get some ingredients to try to make some food or something. I guess maybe we gonna see. I don't really make too many big plans because I like to just move with the wind, and even lately I just been, getting up with the sun because that's what our ancestors used to do. You set a time, but they went based on the actual universe. You want to go based on man-made time, or you want to go based on God time? Like, is you on man time or God time? Like, and that's what decisions that I feel like everyone need to, especially the family for sure, because the more the family grows, the more it's just a realization of consciousness that's up in our people now, and our people want to hear like real stuff. We tired of hearing about this gossip and everything that's really don't even matter at the end of the day. Like I was saying the other day, like the stuff that do matter, we gotta start tapping back into it, getting in touch with so we can get in touch with our ancestors, because you and your ancestors right now are in different alignments because they was on universal time and you on man-made time, so y'all on two different times. So how you gonna really get in touch with your ancestors if you're not on the right type of time? And that's what type of time is you on, at the end of the day. And like I said, I would definitely recommend, because I'm like 1/4 of the way, and it's kind of already changing up my whole perspective on just everything around me, And they give us this knowledge these days because they already, at first they used to hide the information away from us because they know that we couldn't speak the language, and we didn't have not so much that we couldn't speak the language, but we didn't have access to the same libraries as the blacks and whites had two different libraries, and if the blacks even had a library, just like two different areas. Now that we all have one, we get the same information they get, so it's up to you. These days, it's up to you to want to learn. You can either learn the man-made information, or you can go and actually learn what you want to learn and be the best at what that knowledge gives you, at the end of the day. Because, like I said, the information is here. You can take the information and, like I said, we can use it to the best of our abilities and actually know what's going on around us, or we could just keep taking their word for it, letting them write our story instead of learning his story. We getting somebody else and they telling us our story. How it's like somebody coming to you telling you how you is in life. You're gonna be like, how you gonna tell me how I am? That's basically how they doing. Like, you only getting the perspective from them, so they telling you how you is, and you only getting the information that they want you to have. Just like the news. You said, I'm quite sure if you was a newscaster, you wouldn't post the same type of news that they give you. You'll probably pick a whole different subject. But the fact that we only getting a certain type of news and you accepting it is what's making this a big downfall for most of the people. Yeah, 2.1 people stopped using cable, but what about the other 30 million people in the United States? It's a lot of people. It's still more people looking at the news and looking at certain type of stuff than there are people who not even worried about it, But with that being said, though, family, I'm gonna get up out of here. Got some more things to do. Not for real. But yeah, peace to all my loyal subscribers for sure. If you're a new subscriber, you know, like, comment, subscribe. You are in the perfect place to learn the best information from somebody who not under any type of too much rulership of, really, I'm not under no rulership of nobody. You know, I use my own mind. I do my own research, and I spend my own time to present this to the masses of the people who want to listen. And I'm just thankful to be the messenger. I'm thankful to the ancestors, my guardian angels and spirit guides for continuously guiding me, my ancestors for continuously allowing my voice to be heard, and my guardian angels for protecting me while I do these type of things. And I'm just blessed to be here. And, you know, until next time, like I said, peace to the planet, peace to all my, you know, the gods and goddesses of the whole planet for sure. And we're going to continue to rise as a species, as a group, as a culture. If it takes one by one, like, I plan on waking up everybody. Like, everybody going to hit the alarm clock. No excuses. But with that being said, I say, peace till next time, family. I'll catch y'all in the next one.